All right, let's talk about AI. You've probably heard that term, a dozen times this week alone, right? And it can sound super complicated, like something for coders or out of a sci-fi movie. But here's the thing. It's already a huge part of your life. So in the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down. Super simple. Let's dive in.
So here's our game plan. First up, we're just going to ask, what even is this stuff? Then, we'll get into the difference between the AI we actually have today and, the AI you see in the movies. Huge difference. We'll peek under the hood to see how it learns, find out where it's kind of hiding in your daily routine, and then we'll wrap up by tackling the big question. What's coming next?
Okay, so let's start with a quick question for you. Just take a second. Have you used AI today? Because I am willing to bet the answer is a big, fat yes, even if you didn't realize it.
And that's because AI is already woven into the fabric of our day-to-day lives. I mean, think about it. When you ask your phone for the weather, or when your favorite streaming service just knows what show you're going to love next. Yep, that's AI working its magic. It's not some far-off futuristic idea anymore. It's the tech running in our phones and on our screens, right here, right now.
Okay, so since it's already all around us, let's get on the same page. What exactly is artificial intelligence when you strip away all the hype and the fancy jargon?
So at its core, AI is really all about trying to make computers think and learn a bit more like us humans. Instead of just having a machine that follows a strict to-do list, the goal is to build one that can actually tackle problems on its own. Things like recognizing a face in a photo, understanding what you're saying, or even making a smart move in a game.
And you know what? This whole idea isn't new at all. The term itself was coined way back in 1956. Now, things got a little quiet in the 70s. They called it the AI winter. But then, boom, the internet happened. And with all that data in the 90s, AI came roaring back to life. And that brings us right up to today where, let's be honest, AI is pretty much everywhere.
Okay, this next part is maybe one of the most important things to get about AI right now. We have to separate the real-world AI from the movie AI. Because honestly, they are two totally different beasts. All right, so here's the deal. Everything we have right now is what's called narrow AI. It's super powerful, don't get me wrong, but it's designed for one specific job. Like your virtual assistant can answer questions, but it's not going to write a screenplay. A self-driving car is a genius at navigating roads, but it has no clue how to diagnose an illness. Now that other kind, general AI, the kind that could do any intellectual task a human can, that's still pure science fiction. It's totally theoretical at this point.
Okay, so we know what it is, but how does it actually work? I mean, how does a machine without a brain learn anything? Let's go peek inside the engine room. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Math is coming. But I promise we are not about to dive into a bunch of complex equations. We're just going to stick to the main ideas, the core concepts that make this whole thing tick.
Okay, so the secret sauce here is something called machine learning. And think of it like this. Instead of writing a super detailed step-by-step recipe for a computer to follow, you just show it thousands of pictures of amazing-looking food. You let it figure out the patterns for what makes a great dish. It literally learns from experience. The more data it gets, the smarter it becomes.
And one of the coolest tools for doing this is called a neural network. It's a system that's actually inspired by the human brain. It's got all these layers of interconnected neurons. And its superpower is finding these really complex, subtle patterns in data. The kinds of patterns that let it tell the difference between a cat and a dog or figure out the meaning of a sentence. So the whole learning thing really boils down to a pretty simple loop. Step one, you just feed the system a ton of data. Let's say thousands and thousands of cat photos. An algorithm sifts through all that, looks for patterns, and then you show it a new photo and it makes a guess. Is this a cat? Now, if it's right, great. That reinforces what it's learned. If it's wrong, it adjusts its thinking. You just repeat that process maybe a million times, and pretty soon you've got an expert cat spotter on your hands.
Okay, that's enough theory. So where does all this digital brain power actually show up in the real world? Let's talk about the impact it's having right now.
Well, the short answer is pretty much everywhere. It's in healthcare, helping doctors spot diseases earlier. It's in the banking apps on your phone. It's changing how our kids learn and how we watch movies. So you should think of it less like a single gadget and more like a whole new layer of technology that's just reshaping everything.
Take the business world, for example. AI is a huge game changer for productivity. It can handle all the boring, repetitive tasks, which frees people up to focus on the more creative, big-picture stuff. And at the same time, it can analyze mountains of data to find hidden trends, which helps leaders make way smarter decisions. Or how about education? This is where things get really exciting, I think. You have AI tools now that can create a personalized learning path for every single student. So if one student is struggling with, say, fractions, the system can give them extra practice. But if another student is flying ahead, it can give them tougher challenges. It's making learning so much more personal and, honestly, more effective.
And this goes way beyond just our daily lives. AI is now being pointed at some of the biggest challenges humanity faces. Researchers are using it to build way more accurate climate models, to design smarter energy grids, and to figure out how to best manage our planet's resources. It's a really powerful tool for trying to build a better future.
So all of this naturally leads us to the future. With all this power and all this potential, the really big questions start to pop up. Like, what's next? And maybe more importantly, how do we make sure we do this right?
And this quote really gets to the heart of it. The promise of AI is just massive, but we can't just rush ahead blindly. We have to be really thoughtful and responsible about how we build it and use it, because honestly, the choices we're making right now are going to define what this technology looks like for decades.
And as this tech becomes more and more a part of our world, it raises some huge questions we all need to think about. Like, what about bias? If we train AI on biased data, it's going to be biased too. What about privacy with all this data being collected? And what happens to jobs? We need to talk about job displacement. And finally, who's accountable when AI makes a mistake? These are the really critical conversations we need to be having right now.
So you see, just building smarter and smarter AI is only half the battle. The other half, and you could argue it's the more important half, is figuring out how we steer this thing. How do we make sure its development is ethical and that it actually benefits everybody? It's genuinely one of the most important challenges of our generation.
And really, that's the big idea I want to leave you with. This whole thing isn't just a story about tech and code. It's a story about us and the choices we make. As AI gets smarter and smarter, the one question we all have to keep asking is, how do we make sure it works for everyone? Thanks so much for joining me.